right. Good Wednesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson. Let's go in and talk about the weather for your Wednesday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we are going to be talking about tonight. But first, before we get into that, let's go on and get to our tradition. Go on and get into our tradition that we do every Wednesday evening, because since it is Wednesday, we're done with Monday, we're done with Tuesday, and we're done with Wednesday. We're halfway done with the week. We are indeed halfway done with the week. That means that we only have Thursday and Friday left to go, and we will be at the weekend. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you have not hit the like button yet and you have made it here, go on and do so. It's free and you can change your mind at any time if you ever want to. Right now we have around 7 people here and only around 5 likes right now, so a good amount still, but we still have some. That, and then if you are new and you have never hit the subscribe button before, go and hit the subscribe button again. Another thing that it's free, and you can change your mind at any time if you so please to. And then also make sure that you share it with all the people that you know. We're trying to get to the main goal of 700 subscribers. We're at 612. 612. We are indeed only 88 away from that main goal. So let's go in and get there. What are we going to talk about tonight? Well, obviously, we will discuss the weather of tonight and what's currently going on right now throughout the state of South Carolina. We also will talk about the tropics, as we always do, and then we also just talk about our patterns. We'll talk about just how, the most part, we're going to have a bit of a warming trend. We'll talk about that as well. So we're going to start off first with what is currently going on. What's currently going on? Well, right now it seems like that we have nothing going on throughout the entire state of South Carolina as we speak. If we scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S. instead of just South Carolina. We do have some rainfall and some snowfall going on. Rainfall going on over here in New York, going on in Pennsylvania, also off the coast as well of the U.S., and then also some snowfall going on in northern New York, going into Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, those areas over there. Rainfall and snowfall going on inside of the eastern UP of Michigan. Now, if we move on over here towards the west, we do have some rainfall ongoing over here. Seems like it's mostly all rainfall, not really too much in terms of snowfall, rainfall in Washington, up here in northwestern Washington, going into Oregon, California as well. And so it looks like for the most part that rainfall will stay over there on the western side. Now, in terms of cloud cover right now, honestly, it is nice and clear right now. Nothing going on throughout the entire state. Nice and clear. Now, in terms of cloud cover for the future, you're going to push this forward as well. For the most part, we may see some cloud cover tomorrow morning. I mean, you can see up there in the upstate, cloud cover starting to build a little bit. But for the most part, everyone else stays on the clear side until we get into tomorrow evening, and during the nighttime hours, cloud cover starts to build right back up again as we go later into the nighttime on Thursday. Then we push through, we get into Friday morning. It's nice and clear again, so we have some nice clear clouds back. And then, well, nice clear clouds, that's not a thing, but nice clear conditions definitely is a thing. And so as we continue our way through Friday afternoon, going back into that Friday night time frame, cloud cover, I mean, it will be there, but it will be more on the scattered side, not really too much of anything. Current temperatures right now, 52 in Columbia as well as 51 in Orangeburg. We also do have around 50 in Somerville, 52 in Georgetown, even around 54 in Myrtle's Inlet, 55 in Myrtle Beach, and 49 in Conway, 55 in North Myrtle Beach, even around 55 in Charleston, 51 or 50 inside of Newberry, also 49 in Spartanburg, 49 in Greenville, as well as 51 in Clemson, 53 in Anderson, and 48 in Gaffney, 49 in York, and 48 inside of Rock Hill. We also do have around 54 in Aiken, and then we also have around 56 in Beaufort, and then even around 58 over there in Hilton Head Island. Now, for your low temperatures for tonight, we have around 39 in Greenville, 39 in Spartanburg, and even around 39 in Rock Hill, 40 in Newberry, and 42 in Columbia, 43 in Aiken, and 41 also inside of Barnwell, 42 in Orangeburg, and 42 also in Moncks Corner, 38 in Kingstree, and 39 in Florence, 38 in Dillon, and 44 in Myrtle Beach, 42 in Georgetown, and 42 also in Moncks Corner, 47 in Charleston, and 49 in Hilton Head Island. In terms of your rainfall for tonight, and just for your future in general for the next like 48 hours or so, 24, 48 hours. Not much. No rainfall is expected tonight, tomorrow, or tomorrow night either, so we are good in terms of rainfall. The crazy score, we're at an 11. If you have no idea what the crazy score is, the score that we see how crazy the weather is inside of South Carolina, and we are at an 11. It's going to be a cool night, dry, winds will be diminishing, clear, high pressure takes over, and so for the most part, this is like a perfect night right here if you're a cool weather fan. But if you're not, if it was just a bit warmer, this would definitely be your perfect night too. Now, in terms of the SPC outlook, in terms of thunderstorm activity, nothing for tonight. Same thing for tomorrow and for Friday. We are good in terms of thunderstorm activity. Excessive rainfall looks like here that we do not have any risk for any sort of excessive rainfall as we go through the next 5 days or so. Now let's go in and look at the models. Models is another thing that we can look at, but I'm not going to lie. Pretty much, I can tell you right now, nothing shows up. As we go through the next 48 hours all the way through November the 14th, high pressure remains, and we stay dry for the next 48 hours. No rainfall is expected. That's obviously not the greatest thing, especially for our drought, but I mean, we've been talking about that. Drought obviously ongoing here. For over here near Allendale County, over here also near Barnwell, Bamberg, going into Hampton, and then also over here in York County, and then Chester, Lancaster, northwestern Chesterfield as well. But a lot of areas are inside the white. A lot of areas are inside the white. And so I will say tomorrow, when we do our drought monitor predictions, it's going to be interesting to see with not a lot of rainfall, falling. There has been some, but not a whole lot. It's going to be interesting to see what we have here. And so we stay inside of the D, not even in a D0, we're just inside the none category for a lot of us. I don't know if I can see exactly, actually I can. Current right now around 50.68 percent. If I go back, that was a 6. So around 50.68% inside of the none. It says 49.32 for D0 all the way to D4, and then from D4 to from D1 to D4 16.2, from D2 to D4 that's 2.6, and so it can go all the way throughout the percentages and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, that's just what it looks like right now. Now let's go even further into the future. We're going to look at our long term now. Looking at the models here, we start off here at around 7 o'clock p.m. You want to push this forward. We right now, for the most part, just have some rainfall that kind of just goes around us. I'm not really seeing too much in terms of like any sort of heavy storm activity, heavy systems moving through or anything like that. Until we get to around like November the 25th, I see some rainfall moving in through there. Is that a cold front? It looks like for the most part that is a cold front trying to move through, or at least some type of cold air moving through. It looks like for the most part that it is a cold front, but that's the only one that I see, and that's like a couple of days before Thanksgiving, still showing that cool down before Thanksgiving. It's still there. We were talking about that yesterday, and it is still there. That cool down right before Thanksgiving Day comes along. A day or two before, and so still will be looking for that one. But other than that, I don't really see anything else that's really catching my eye that I'm saying, okay, let's go on and keep an eye out for this. We may have a couple of dry fronts, so that may move through. Like for example, over here, we have one that's like just to our north on like the 20th or so. It doesn't bring much. It doesn't bring much in terms of like cooler temperatures. Like, a lot of us stays inside like the 50s for the most part. But like I said, people were asking, would we be back in the 80s? And you can see right here, 80s throughout a good amount. So 80s will be coming back. Warm air will be coming back. So we're not done quite yet with the 80s yet. And speaking of, I just want to go on also and show our anomalies as well. So warm air, it's trying to get its way back, but we still stay cool for the most part until we get to around like the 14th and the 15th. Warm air really starts to come in, and then all that cold air has pretty much just moved its way out, and we stay warm all the way through to like November the 22nd. And then here goes the cool down that was coming, well, supposedly supposed to be before Thanksgiving, but I mean, you go in and look, I'm not really seeing too much really until like a bit after Thanksgiving. So my question here is that you can go on and see the actual dew points here. You can see the dry air moving in, but it doesn't seem like it's that much of a cold front. It looks like it just might just be bringing in some dry air instead. And so that's a bit of the difference if we go on and look at yesterday's. Yesterday's, it showed a completely different scenario. Showed a completely different scenario. This is what it looked like yesterday, and look at what it looks like today. Maybe if I can... Okay, maybe. Yes, there we go. Look at what it looks like today. Yesterday versus today. A huge shift. It still brings the dry air with it, but it doesn't bring the cold air with it. And so that seems to be a little bit of a switch there that we might have to look out for, though. And so we'll continue to monitor that as we just get closer and closer to Thanksgiving time. But it looks like a lot warmer, but just drier in terms of air in the atmosphere. And that's all that I really have to say in terms of the models for the long term. What about the tropics? Well, tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days. And so it looks like, for the most part, that we are still good. Even if we go in and look at the ECENS, which is just the European model. European model right here. For the most part, just bring some activity to the Southern Caribbean. I mean, we've been talking about that for a long time now. Even if we continue our way through 10 days out, main development region looks fine. Caribbean, nothing really there either. So, not really too much of anything here either. And so that's all that I have to say for the models and for the tropics. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with my Aunt Lula first in the chat first tonight. Says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. I pray that everyone had a wonderful day. And today in Georgetown, it was sunny, but it was chilly. Thank you so much for that weather update. Did have a great day. Miss Tolliver comes and says, lovely evening at my house. I went for a walk in hopes of seeing the Aurora Borealis. I tried to look for it yesterday. I couldn't find it. I didn't see it anywhere. I didn't really see really too many people in South Carolina that got it either. I saw a lot of people, even in Florida. I know they saw it down there last night. I didn't see it though. Mr. Anthony said, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Oliver said, are we going to continue with freezing temperatures? Or are we back into to summer in a few days? Well, I think that my analysis on the long term pretty much answered it. But yes, we'll be back to not summer like to where it's like 90s, feel like temperatures near like 100. We're not going to feel like that. But we will be back in those 80s, and even if it's like low 80s. But we're not going to continue with freezing temperatures. For now. They will be back, but not for now. My name says, Jay had a sort of cold walk today. Well, glad that you got some walking time today. Ms. Tolliver said, did anyone else see the Aurora Borealis last night? Again, I didn't. My cousin Cheryl says, good evening, weatherman. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a pleasant day. Really cold out there, so y'all keep warm. And weatherman, I'm listening. Love you. Be blessed, Cheryl. Thank you so much for that comment. Glad that you are listening. Then my Aunt Lula says, again, it was so nice that I worked in my garden for 2 hours. 2 hours. Glad that you got some outside time. Thad says, getting just I trust all as well. It was another gorgeous day here in San Antonio. Well, glad to hear that. And it looks like even tomorrow, it will be like this. It will be like that again. My Aunt Shirley comes in and says, good evening and blessings to all. Thank you so much for that. Good evening to you. Trail says, greetings, everyone. Long day. Sleepy? Well, it's the end of the day. And so you get yourself a good night's rest tonight. Mr. Chris says, good evening, everyone. Sorry that I'm late. Also says today was very comfortable in Moncks Corner. A little windy, but not bad at all. Thank you so much for that weather update for you. And then Mr. Oliver says, I hope that we do not have a hot Thanksgiving. Well, it's too far out to tell. We are still 2 weeks out from Thanksgiving, so it's just way too far out to tell right now. But models have went more. I mean, it's like I said, it's been flipping all the way from cold to hot to cold to hot, and so that just tells you we're just too far out right now. And so that is all that I have really for the audience for tonight. If you want to go on and leave a chat, you can. You can. Let's go on now and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking what are those locations? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about those areas is because we have people from those areas who tune in almost nightly. Also, one more thing, because I know some South Carolina people might be leaving at this time. If the Q&A video will be coming out soon, I've got all the questions now. So thank you to everyone who did put their questions in. I will be talking about them inside of a video either sometime later this week or very early next week. So thank you to everyone who sent their questions in. That is all that I have to say about that. Let's continue on. San Antonio first. Low temperatures tonight 62, high temperatures tomorrow 84, and then low temperatures tomorrow night 64. No precipitation is expected at this time. And then in terms of excessive rainfall, severe weather, anything like that, you are good in terms of excessive rainfall. And then in terms of severe weather for you, absolutely nothing, actually. Absolutely nothing. Then for Raleigh, you have low temperatures tonight at 43, high temperatures tomorrow at 63, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 38. No precipitation is expected at this time, no severe weather. And then in terms of excessive rainfall, you probably can guess it. Yes, absolutely nothing. And then for Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 40, high temperatures tomorrow at 52, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 36. No precipitation is expected, no severe weather, no excessive rainfall. And then for Duncan, Oklahoma, low temperatures tonight at 49, high temperatures tomorrow at 79, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 56. No precipitation is expected at this time either. I don't see anything inside of the email for tonight. If you want to go on and send me any email or email me any pictures or anything like that of the weather going on, you can by sending them to scweather360@gmail.com. Again, that is scweather360@gmail.com. What's going on throughout the entire U.S.? An atmospheric river will bring threats of gusty to high winds and heavy rainfall to California, mainly Thursday into Saturday, which may bring areas of flooding and wind damage. Gusty or heavy snow will be possible over the Sierra Nevada mountains Thursday into Friday, associated with the atmospheric river. Minor to a severe geomagnetic storm space weather is expected to continue into early Thursday. So that's what they're talking about. I've seen a bunch of good pictures. Obviously, I can't show it, or else bad things would probably happen because I showed somebody else's photo. But I will say that I have seen some good ones, some good pictures out there. I do have one. It actually was my one that I actually got. I believe the last one that happened. I don't know. It's my actually my Twitter banner. Let me go on and get that up real quick. This is the last one I got right out front of my house. It was just like in a bit in the distance. This is the last one that I saw. But you see like, you can see some purples. The photo doesn't do it justice. You definitely probably should have seen it in real life. That definitely would have been better if you did see it. But I got this great picture. This was a couple of months ago now at this point. But just crazy about how far south it can get, especially when the stronger it is. Now, again, like I said, I'm not too in astrology or just too into like space weather or anything like that, like I am, meteorology and climatology and stuff like that. But I still sometimes pay attention to it. And that's all that I have here in terms of the weather here for tonight. Let me go on and check out the top fans for the night tonight. If you want to be a top fan, you can. You just have to be here early, be a subscriber, and then, of course, you have to be active inside the chat. So starting off, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my Aunt Lulu was number 1 tonight. Miss Tolliver was number 2 for tonight. And then Mr. Chris was at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans for the night tonight. And that is all that I have. So hopefully everyone has a fantastic rest of their Wednesday. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow morning for your Thursday morning forecast update. Remember, hit the subscribe button, 612, trying to get to 700. If you are new and you have never hit the subscribe button before, also share it with all the people that you know, friends, family, acquaintances, people you don't like. It doesn't matter. Just share it with them. And then also, like button. We've had 15 people tune in so far and only 11 likes, so go on and do so. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, and I'll be back tomorrow.